up, Flow Riders, and welcome to another edition of The Flow. I am your co-host, Doc Rock, along with my awesome co-host.
Hey, everyone. It's Katie.
Hey, I nailed that point the right direction.
Thanks. You did. I was impressed. I was impressed.
Thank you, Stephanie. All right, Case, what are we talking about today?
I'm really excited about this one because we've been talking about this topic for a really long time in all aspects of Ecamm. And we recently just had Alec Johnson, the one and only, come on and do an entire workshop about this topic. So if this resonates with you today, you can dive even deeper into the replay and check out all of Alec's amazing content. We're talking about no more editing, and we're talking about what we've been calling the one-take revolution. By we, I mean me. I'm forcing all of us to call it the one take revolution. But we're saying goodbye to editing today because it's a big deal. So I found some stats. All right, and get ready for this. It's both like higher than I think and also lower than I think. But 41% of podcasters out there say that post-production work and all of the editing is the most time-consuming part of their workflow and is stopping them from creating content more regularly. So let's talk about not editing anymore. Let's talk about it.
I like this. The biggest thing I think when it comes to the not editing part for me is getting the people who don't really have, this is going to sound super mean. It's not mean. If you don't have editing skill, then don't try it. And you can learn it, but don't learn it on the thing that you need to be consistent at. Okay, so publishing episodes is the thing you need to be consistent at. That is not the time to try to learn how to edit. Mm-hmm. So especially, let's give ourselves a number. Your first 25 episodes, just don't even edit them. Mm-hmm. If you're just starting out, you're brand new, you've been doing this or wanting to put this or keep putting it off because the one thing that's scaring you is the edit. Or you got like 3 episodes in and the edit is starting to derail you because it's taking you 8 hours to edit a 1-hour podcast. This is where you let go of the editing and just keep doing the podcast. And then you practice editing on something else so then you can get down. But here's what's cool. With Ecamm, you can even make the editing part lighter, which is, I guess, what we're getting into today. Because we talked about this at Max Talk. And every time we bring it up at a show, people are like, wait, what? Really? And we're like, yeah, man, it's a thing. You can do it. It
is a thing. All right. But I want to, before we dive too deep into this, I did want to highlight a really cool new thing that we are doing here at The Flow and just generally at Ecamm. So if you swing over to ecamm.tv/podcast QS, all right. We, in our emails, whether you sign up for our main Ecamm newsletter or whether you sign up for the Flow newsletter, we want to know what those challenges are. So as we just said, at least 41% of you are saying that editing is a big deal for you, which is why we're doing this episode. But if there's another thing that's really, got you, or if you want us to talk even more about editing, swing it over to this link, drop that in. You can upvote and downvote other people's things that they're dropping in that are their biggest challenges. Maybe don't be too mean with the downvoting, but upvote ones that you think are good topics for us to cover. We really want to know what matters to you so that we can create better episodes for you. So definitely swing on over there while we're chatting through today's episode. If you're listening, it is ecamm, ecamm.tv/podcast QS. That will take you over there. And then obviously at any time you can sign up for our newsletter. flow.ecamm.com is where you can grab that. But yeah, we would love to hear what your challenges are. But yeah, let's dive in. I think you're right. It's funny that it's a big topic and people really seem to struggle with this. But you are right, Doc, that every time we mention like what our workflow is, people are like, whoa, well, how are you doing that? And is it actually working? And, what are some of the details of what it is? So I think it really starts with mindset, which we've been talking, a lot about even personally, but it's this idea of taking away the perfectionism because it doesn't mean that you're more professional, right? So like being a perfectionist about it and getting it perfect doesn't mean that you are the most professional person in the room. That's not what matters. But I think that's what's in a lot of our heads.
Oh, 100%. Okay, so if you were to walk into the room, I'll give two crazy examples. One, going to be a little bit harder for you to prove unless you go do the look for it. But if you were to walk into a room and standing in front of the room was a Professor Albert Einstein, Herr Einstein as they would call him, and you would watch him do his speech, he lost train of thought, famously lost train of thought all the time, switched directions all the time, and was a ombudsman. Like he was a guy because his brain was faster than his mouth.
Yep.
I don't think any of us can stand there and act like we're smarter than AE himself. I'm just saying. Like notably one of the most famous genii to ever run the face of the earth. The other thing that I would say is I just got finished watching a bunch of sports stuff over this last couple of times because a lot of stuff is happening in sports right now. And if you watch them sit at a table and do the live pregame, postgame, or even, if you watch CNN or ESPN or when somebody's in and they're doing the panel where everyone's talking, even the best presenters are going to stop, fix what they say, repeat things, make adjustments. This just got in. They read it off the paper. It's not as polished as you think, but you're not paying attention to that because you're focused on what they're talking about. Whether it's the epic run that the Red Sox are on, or, Manchester United season starting in 2 weeks, or, Lewis Hamilton having a struggle at Ferrari, no matter which one I'm watching, those guys are just flowing. No pun intended. No pun intended. Right? The ladies and the dudes that are doing these shows, they're just flowing. They're not like, oh, wait, cut. You can't do that. You're standing in the middle of a pit lane with a couple $1 billion worth of cars. You can't go, wait, cut. Let me say that again. You just repeat it. Here we are this week at Silverstone. Oh, sorry, not Silverstone. That was last week. Oh, my God, that race was crazy. It rained the entire time. Here we are at Spa, and we're going to go check out the Ferrari garage. You watch this every day, and you don't have any problem with it. If anything, you chuckle when they say something dumb. Why is everybody with no budget and no team and no skills and no experience trying to be perfect? That's
especially in podcasting. So the one thing I really want to stress to people, because I think it's particularly in the world of video, it makes it, I think we have a different preconceived notion than what we should, right? Because when we think about podcasting specifically, it is a deeply personal medium, right? So whether you're doing this in video or audio, you are going into people's spaces. In many cases, you're right in someone's ear. They're taking you with you on a journey. It is really, really deeply personal. And so the production of it, you need to be keeping that in mind. It's very different than a tutorial video, than TV, than all of these other different mediums that even if you're doing it as a video, it's not the same as those final outputs. It's meant to be really personal. It's meant to be really conversational. It's meant to pull in a community and a niche of people, right? So in the same way that all those sports examples you were just giving, the people that would listen to any of that content, any podcast that was on any of those topics that you just gave, the people that are going to be listening to it are already to some extent passionate about that topic. So they're there with you. They're going to be, aggressively agreeing or disagreeing with you. They want to be part of that conversation. There's a reason why they're listening to it. They have some level of interest in it, right? So it is really different than when you're getting up and giving a presentation in front of the board, or you're doing these kinds of things that we feel like we need to put our professional hats on for. Podcasting is inherently not professional. It's inherently personal. And so I think already we can just forgive ourselves for all of that. If you need to still hang on to some of the perfectionism, keep it for the boardroom or these other moments where you need to be very professional. The podcasting space is a space where you really should be trying to be yourself and leaning into the topic, even if it's an incredibly important topic that, has, a level of, where you need to be highly accurate, or, there's something that needs to be as professional, quote unquote, as possible. I just think really what we all need to be thinking about is our audience and building those connection points. And that's why something like recording it live or recording it in this one take live to tape format really helps, especially if you do it live like we do, because it really helps you to embrace that level of connection. So you are being unapologetically yourself and real and a person in front of people who are there to get the content from you and spend time with you and be part of your community. So you're putting yourself in front of those people. And I do think it really does make a very big difference. And I do think, I've said this a bunch, but I think the lines between a live stream show and a podcast and all these different mediums are really blurring, because in the end, it's really just about creating content that's valuable for your community. And so doing that in a live format, I do think simplifies everything and also just gets you out of your head. Like it does force you into a mindset that I think is a healthier place to be for a lot of people, because they don't want to polish you.
You just set up something big in my brain just now.
Yes.
All right, so this is crazy. Okay, a podcast, Luis, don't even edit out the part where I have to formulate that thought, because it's a crazy thought.
No editing this episode.
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm not trying to build tension, but no. Okay, so you mentioned the part about it's not like a tutorial video. Okay, and then so you think of some things in your general life, your general practice. The reason why you know that you like a particular thing in life, right? So I'll pick, for you, it could be wine. Your thing that you like about wine did not come from you went to wine 101 course, a sommelier at University Chateau Prome de Pomf. You had wine with your grandpa or your grandma one day. Don't tell mom, check this out. This is good. When you have your dinner, you eat this. Oh, make sure you put it in a glass like this. Make sure, you check out these various varieties. These go good with fish. These go good with steak. And then you start hanging out with your friends, especially in a culture that has a little bit of a French background. It is actually introduced to you earlier than we do because, Protestants, I'll leave that alone. And then you just go and later when you become an adult, you have an affinity for something that actually connects a lot of people. Yeah. When they got in, your affinity from it did not come from sitting in a classroom structural environment. Your affinity for it came from conversations, right? The best lessons learned in life come from general conversations. So even if your goal is to talk about podcasting, we're not sitting here going, step one, write that down. It's going to be on the quiz. We're having a conversation about overcoming perfectionism in podcasting. The lessons are just built in. It's not that it's a formulated university style, APA structured lecture. Mm-hmm. And most of the things that people like and love, they build their affinities from general conversations. So even if your goal is to be teaching, you teach it by let's have a conversation today about getting rid of post-production by approaching perfectionism from a different standpoint. We're just two homies having a rap.
Yep.
That's what it is. And if you can wrap your head around that's the format for podcasting and not standing there like Father Guido Sarducci, then you're good. You're absolutely good. Oh my God, that's wow. Okay, cool. No, I think I made that. I think I made that sound like I had it in my head.
We blew Doc's mind.
Sense.
Yeah. No, I think
it makes sense.
I think it was a moment for me because we've been recording more tutorial videos for Ecamm, which is not at all my background. Like I as many of you know, like video in general is not my background, and trying to do like recorded step-by-step tutorial videos that need to just be very to the point, immediately helpful. Like people don't have a ton of patience when they are watching a step-by-step tutorial video. They just want the answer so that they can keep going, right? They have a block. They need to know how to do it. They want to keep going. Whereas a podcast, people are intentionally listening to it, no matter what the length is of it. It could be a 2-minute show, it could be a 2-hour show, but people are intentionally listening to it for an experience, right? So they're like, they can decide how long they want to be there or not want to be there. They can split it up into listening over however long, they can pause, they can fast forward, etc. It's a really different experience. So it really hit me as I was recording these tutorial videos that editing in a tutorial video makes a ton of sense because you want to be as brief as possible. You want it to flow like in a particular way. You want to make sure that the steps make sense in the way that you're explaining them. But that is not, it is a completely different experience and format from a podcast, which really is all about creating an experience. And the people that are listening or watching have full control over how they want to receive that experience and how they want to change it. Like unsurprisingly, Doc got me excited about a show called Morbid, which is like a true crime podcast. It's 2 women that live in my area. So it's like New England lady time for me. And I just love everything about it. And sometimes they will kick off their show about whatever their topic is, whatever true crime, killer or whatever they're talking about. Before they kick that off, they have like banter, right? They're talking at the beginning of the episode. And sometimes the banter is like super brief. And sometimes they're like on some kind of roll about something and they go off. And there are points where in certain episodes, I'm like, I'm not really in the banter mode. And I'll just fast forward to the beginning of the episode. And then there are times where I love the banter and that's exactly what I'm looking for in the episode. And that's fine. At no point am I like, oh, I'm not going to listen to this show anymore because every third episode they talk for 15 minutes about what's going on in their lives. But I think as a podcaster, there are moments where I'm like, oh, am I bantering too much at the beginning of this episode? Is that going to cheese people off? Do I need to like edit that out? Do I need to have more of we overthink a lot of this stuff where I think if we're focused on the overall experience, what kind of expectation we're setting up and what people are getting out of it, I think that's what really matters. So it is really important to focus on that. Go ahead.
So I have a question for you. First of all, let me cover Marianne's comment. Marianne said, thank you for saying, like, no matter how long it is, Katie, like she thought podcasts had to be an hour. So
no, they don't.
I had a buddy of mine, Sam, who had a podcast. And this is when iPhones first started getting apps. So like iPhone 2, 3 area.
Yeah.
And he had a podcast that he put out every single day that was about 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
He always tried to nail 3 minutes. Sometimes it'd be like 5. And then we would laugh because he would go over 3 because he told everybody it was going to be like an app in 3 minutes. It was called App a Day. It was literally like in the top 5 of podcasts. Because, of course, at that time, apps were so brand new. Everybody was trying to figure out, sort of what to get and what to download. Okay, so let me ask this question to you and anybody in the audience who's paying attention. Did you ever have a favorite teacher who was absolutely scatterbrained? Like who forever went off the wrong end and whatever. And I will tell you, maybe because I'm, ADD reflecting, those were always my favorite teachers. The ones that didn't go down the outline and would start talking about the randomest things or tell you about their life or get in, and they became more like friends, right? But when you had the teacher that put the outline out and went straight down the outline, I'm like, what are you teaching me? I can read an outline. Hand me a paper and tell me to go to the library and I'm good. If you're going to regurgitate straight line crap, like I would probably drop your class. That's just not there. I fell in love with or spend the most times with my teachers who sort of treated us like they were in a relationship with us, right?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds weird to say because Catholic school, but not like that.
Not that kind of relationship.
They were trying to be both a mentor and a friend, and came at you from a level of understanding you, but you also understood them. Right? These are the teachers that will come and sit with us at the lunch table and go deeper on a topic because class only allotted for an hour, 45 minutes if you're really, getting into the beginning and the end. They would basically come to the table and sit down and then be like, did you guys understand what we were talking about? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of think so. Those little circles on Jupiter are actually storms. Yeah, there's storms. And, contrary to people's popular belief, there's water in some shape or form on just about every planet. And we're like, oh, wait a minute, hold up, sit down. But how come there's no life? Then it becomes a whole conversation. That's not in the damn book. And you know what we all did? We excelled in science class because Mr. Ayat would come and kick it with us at the table.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
ask us
that's
questions about, I saw you like looking at Terry in class all day. What's going on there? What are you talking about? If you watch Mr. Carter, any of the TV shows where the teacher is the best, right? Michelle Pfeiffer or Mr. Carter was the basketball one,
Mr.
or
Feeney, Boy Meets
like any
World.
Mr. Feeney. Yeah, those teachers are like homies.
Yeah.
So why, you know this from watching TV, you know this from real life. Why are you sitting behind your camera trying to be, again, Professor Puffinstuffs? Mr. Cooper, hanging with Mr. Cooper. Who said
Mr.
that?
Cooper, yeah.
Was that Paul? Oh my God.
I
that's
love
super
it. So
funny. Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
so this is actually great because this is the secret that many of you who are using Ecamm may already know, but maybe you aren't thinking this way. So as you're thinking through your show, right? So obviously we're all doing planning for all of our podcast episodes to some extent. Maybe it's a little bit more off the cuff for you. Maybe you are a super planner and you have everything all laid out. The important thing to realize is once you've finished your plan for your show, simplify it down to a couple of like key points that you want to get out by the end of the episode. 2 or 3, like what are the things that you need to drive home? Build some bullet points around that. Do not overdo your bullet points. Build out some easy bullet points and then use Ecamm to give yourself some visual cues as you are working through your scenes. This is literally the power of Ecamm. This is why this tool is so much more powerful than other tools. Build it out so that as you're looking at Ecamm and you are flowing through your show, so you're going through it, you remember what it was you're supposed to talk about. You don't even need the bullets in front of you if you do this. Like, this is how I do presentations. This is how we do almost everything that we do. It's like, I know, so for today's episode, I'm not even driving the show, but Luisa is. I know that we wanted to let you know about our new form that you can fill out and leave your podcasting challenges and the things that you want us to talk about. I knew that we wanted to talk about that, right? So when we were building the scenes, we added a scene in that had that ready to go. And so we knew that when we change over to that scene, oh, right, we were going to talk about this. I don't need the bullet points for that because I know what I wanted to talk about. And it's an immediate reminder just by seeing it there on the screen. And it becomes out much more friendly and casual. And, I'm checking the box of what I needed to get out as far as information to everyone, but I didn't have to have a full script to do it. And I didn't need to have even a ton of bullet points on the screen. I just needed the visual reminder. And so this is, if you're the kind of person who's a big planner and you've always done things with a script, this is a really freeing thing to do, is just having, and it could be like a little GIF. It could be a text thing that flies in. Like, you can make it as fun or as silly or as ridiculous as you want, or not, or as buttoned up and polished as you want. But having a little visual cue and a reminder on the screen, even if it's the question you want to ask and the next scene has the question, then you literally can read your bullet point and it's visual to your whole audience. But it does help you make sure that you get out the episode that you want to get out while still opening up time, as Doc said, for your community to ask questions and give you talking points throughout the episode, and for it to be a two-way conversation instead of a one-way conversation. So I think it's a little thing, but it goes a really long way, just being able to use graphics and overlays in a way that helps you with your content.
Yes. You want to be more professional? Look at Stephen Colbert. He has this little stack of cards. He will be talking to the guests and be like, "So, Katie, I heard that you are from Canada. Is that correct?" Right? Like, you see that all the time. And then sometimes when it gets deep, he'll take the cards, pick any of your favorite talk show hosts. They'll take the cards and they'll fling it because they found a nugget that they can just run with. Yep. And on purpose, they fling the cards to let you know that we're going to get intimate with this guest for a second, right? But this is behind the scenes of my average video. I know you can't read that. I can't read it. Trust you me, right? Katie has seen my handwriting before, but it's literally just my notes, right? I talked about doing a brain dump, setting your priorities, and then time boxing. And then the rest of the things are like, came up and was invented by Harvard Business Review. We're doing visual multitasking and systematic are some of the things that you can do in order to get, like, these were legit just my notes. And this is this is the exact page where I devised block it, lock it, and rock it as my sort of like, get it done whenever you're struggling type of situation. And it's literally that. Like I legit just have a A5 notebook on the desk and a fountain pen. Look, people in the video. And then literally that's it. That's my notes. And in the video, sometimes people will see me here. Let me check my notes. I'll actually say that in the video. I'm not trying to fake the funk or the nasty dunk. I'm a person of a certain vintage. I am not expected to have the memory that you think that you're trying to invent. And most of you guys are of a certain vintage too. And I guarantee you in the last 3 days, if you haven't done so, you're going to do it today. You're going to walk into the kitchen, coffee cup in your hand. What the hell did I come in here for? Coffee cup. Ecamm coffee cup in your hand. Walk in the kitchen. What I came in here for? Or you'd be like, hey, hon, have you seen my glasses?
Yeah.
Every single one of you. So why? Why are you trying to come up on the TV and be something that you just ain't? It's just not a thing. It doesn't exist anywhere in reality. It just doesn't.
Yep.
And I'm willing to bet. You mentioned this real quick, and then we'll tap back in. You mentioned about the people, when you're looking to find an answer to a question, you go sort tutorials. The one that gives you the answer will not be the one that goes, step 1, wipe your nose. Step 2, put on your shirt. Step 3, tie your buttons. But remember, always, sometimes, never. Only put the first one and then walk out. You're not going to like that one. You're going to watch the one where the guy was saying, I get my suits that fit this particular way because you got to have room in the shoulders. And, I'm just a big dude. I got different shoulders. So, that's going to be the one that you actually watch. The one that you actually resonate with. People love to talk that BS about they want it right now. They don't. They want somebody that they can see themselves in.
Yeah, they want to relate to them.
And the reason why you're online looking for a tutorial is because you're too scatterbrained to stare at a manual in a straight line format and get just the answer. So you say that mess, but you end up, the channels you subscribe to aren't that. Yeah. I will put money on it. I will put absolute money on it that the channels that you subscribe to, the stuff that you actually enjoy watching, where you can't wait till they drop another video, they are not the didactic 1, 2, 3, 4, even if you have a busted brain like me.
Yep.
I'm just saying, you watch personalities, you subscribe to personalities. You get that thought in the moment that you need that, just like you need a 3-scoop ice cream.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
The thing that's really cool about live to tape or just doing the whole record situation is that you will get more comfortable with saying the things you say and the way you say it the more you record.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I see most people struggle with is if they want to do, let's say you want to do a 20 episode series, and then you're going to take a break and do another 20. It's only trying to record 20. If you want to do 20, you probably got to record 60. 40 may never see the light of the day. But what you do is you record things that are just notes to yourself.
Yeah.
I will highly suggest you pop on the camera and sit down every day and have a 5-minute brain dump with yourself.
Yep.
Just so you get better at talking to the camera and not panicking over, oh, my teleprompter's crooked or my hair don't look this way or whatever. You just got to get used to sitting down, turning on the camera and going. And this is one of the things that Ecamm can help you do as well, because you can just record those into a folder. Here's something that's really cool. Now that I've been playing with DaVinci, if you record those into a folder, you can use that to train DaVinci so that if you ever, or the script, if you ever need to replace something you said, it can replace it and sound like you.
Yep.
Right? You can use that, transcribe those and use them as inputs for ChatGPT. So ChatGPT knows exactly how you think and not how you think you think.
Yep.
Right? The best thing about recording all the time is knowing you did.
I did that the other day because I wanted to write a blog post about our experience for Leap Into Live. And I had it on my checklist for like weeks. I was like, I need to do this. I need to do this. And then every time I sat down, I was overthinking it. I was like, we should do a big live stream. We should record a video, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, You know what? Like now that the studio, again, and there's a couple of key points here. Now that the studio is an easier space for me to be in, I literally I was already sitting here at my desk. I turned on the lights, the camera, I plugged in everything, made sure, and then I just recorded myself talking about it. I was like, this was the event. And I didn't care exactly what I said. I rambled. I think it was about 20 or so minutes. I just rambled away. I didn't do what I normally do and stop the video and overthink it I got all the way out. And then I literally just grabbed the transcript, sent it through to ChatGPT, and I was like, hey, I want to write a blog article. Here are all of my thoughts about this event. Format me an outline. And then it gave me back an outline. I was like, great. Help me build out this section. It took me probably start to finish an hour and a half. And I had a full blog post all written out. And then I could grab, all of the photos and things that I had from the event, little video clips, and embed it in. And then I was just done off the checklist. And
100%.
You could do the exact same thing with your podcast as well. Like you could jump on, you could record a 2-minute video or even audio recording, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can get your thoughts out and say, hey, I want the episode to be all about this. I'm thinking I'm going to kick off with this. Here's like a pain point that, normally I don't do really good with intros. So I want to be able to have a better intro, help give me some talking points, etc. And then throw it into an AI tool and ask for some advice on it. Have it build out an outline for you and then take that outline and put it into scenes and then you're ready to go. So you literally can edit as you record and save yourself hours and hours and hours. I have a friend, God bless him, who they record like a 2+ hour podcast every single week, which is way too long. They don't want it to be that long. They want it to be like for them. There are some podcasts that do that and it's great, but for them, it's too long. And so he spends hours of time painstakingly editing out everything in the episode instead of just saying like, okay, hey team, I'm going to put a little countdown timer in the corner. And when we hit the hour mark, like that's our sweet spot. We're just going to stop and we could do a continuation episode next week. And then he wouldn't have to edit for hours and hours every week because it's not like he's editing.
Are you talking about boss? Boss can talk?
No comment. But yeah, but he's like, it's a pain point.
You're right.
Like,
Dude, their energy together is so good.
Yeah.
If they just left it alone and just be the home, those dudes are like, they went to Cub Scouts together and they've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
The magic is not in the content. The magic is in the
friendship,
inter-homie banter.
Yeah.
Just how weird they are with each other and how funny they are. Like, they're awesome. They should totally just leave it crusty. I think it would be better.
Yeah, either
and
they
if
could
you
just
watch
leave
some
the
of the
full
best
2-hour
shows-
episode, or they could just set themselves a timer. But they're stealing time from themselves on both ends of that, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, without realizing it. Yeah, 100%. So you mentioned like the bullet points and cue cards and things like that.
Yeah.
And again, you just said something very key: stealing time from yourself. Mm-hmm. If you don't steal time from yourself, the thing that you can do is create faster. Mm-hmm. If you create faster, you have more content. You have more of a body of work.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know the first thing about seamstressing, but I know that if you start out with, say, 2.5 bolts, you can make more clothes.
Yep.
So if content is the same way, if you go in and you're trying to make dinner and you're at the end of all of your ingredients, you're going to have a harder time. You don't have any room for mistakes. You don't have any room for, adjustments. You got to kind of like go pound for pound with all the right ingredients. However, the cool thing about having more content is your audience knows you more. The SEO knows you more. The GEO, generative, now knows you even more, which is probably number one. At this point in time, if you want to win, I don't care what you're talking about, the best thing you can do is flood the system with information. Mm-hmm. Because when you do a search right now, if I was to go and do a search on, planner stuff, if Marion's not coming up, number one, is because the person who's creating the most is. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks the person who has the most amount of people following them is. The only reason why they got that many people is because at one point they were creating the most.
Yeah.
And so
they're consistent
it's a
with it. They're just consistently releasing content on
what do you guys call this thing where you go like this?
Yeah, teeter-totter. That's
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because I don't know if because I said it to somebody before and they were like, teeter-totter? I said, that's what I know it as, a teeter-totter. Anyway, it's a teeter-totter. This is how much you put in, and then eventually you get enough followers where this becomes the biggest weight.
yeah. This is
So
tipping point.
when you have a large following, the weight is on this side because there's more people to average hit the 10% of your audience that will actually watch your stuff, right? But you don't have a 10% audience right now. So you have to be on the flood the system with information. And I'm going to take this. Okay, Daryl said the other one, seesaw. Thank you, Daryl.
Oh, seesaw. Yep. That's funny. I definitely always called it a teeter-totter, so you're fine. You're in good company here.
Me too. I think my brain can't mess with the seesaw thing. Yeah. Anyway, so if you're here's the thing. Okay, I'm trying to grow my audience. Cool. How many episodes do you got? Well, 10. Then you're not making sense yet.
It just takes time. That's going to just take time.
100%. Yeah. If you started a T-shirt brand right now to compete with Supreme, the only way you get the Supreme status is if you sell millions.
Yeah.
Right? When you sell millions, then you become the one that everybody wants because they've seen somebody else rocking it. Yep. But every T-shirt brand started with selling 5.
Yep.
There's no T-shirt brand on the planet that didn't start with just selling 5. Even if they did 1 million in a week, you have to sell more than 5 to get to 1 million.
Yep.
You have to sell more than 999,999 to get to 1 million. There's steps. So if you want the big following and you want these things for yourself, which is cool, I kind of don't really want that because it's going to become a different problem. You do have to create more. And if you could get to this thing where you just don't psych yourself out about editing, you can absolutely create more.
Yeah. And at some point, the other cool thing that I think you will find if you get into the habit of being more transparent and public with your process and with your recording. So if you're recording live, if you take that step and just record live, similar to what we do, similar to what a lot of people do, you will start to get immediate feedback from your community, and probably from people that you didn't even know were part of your community, who were just quietly watching, but then you gave them the opportunity to be part of the conversation. This was an important lesson that I learned with my show, was that Nat and I had started this show and we had this big list of movies that we wanted to review. The show was ours. We hadn't put it out in front of anyone yet. And this was the concept for the show, was we were going to work our way through our favorite movies and just talk about them and get to rewatch them. And then the second that we made the show available to other people, right, and opened it up and put the show out there, suddenly it was like, oh, well, Josh's favorite movie is this thing, and Doc's favorite movie is this thing, and Paul wants to talk about this. And the show then becomes different, and I would say better, because now it's a community show. That show is called the VHS Club, and now it is literally a club where people are able to contribute what movies they're part of, and they can be guests on the show, and they can be part of that experience. And so I think many of us are robbing ourselves of that experience and robbing our community of that experience because we are so focused on making it perfect in the way that it is in our head that we're actually spending way more time and way effort for less results. So I would say the way that you really should grow your community is by putting it out there in front of the community and by being open and vulnerable and honest enough to say oh, actually, now that I've been doing this for a little bit, now that Doc said I've been putting in all of these reps and I've been growing my show, I'm starting to hear that, or I'm starting to see that, or I'm starting to realize that my community actually wants this, and this is the area that I should be moving towards, or they really like it when I do this thing. Even the big shows, you're seeing more and more of that now. There's been more even celebrity level shows that are doing more, live video, or they're now having a YouTube channel for it because people want to interact with them in that way. So even though they are famous, they have a huge following, and they've built a show a particular way, kind of putting it out there has allowed for them to take that feedback. So I would say not only does this process help you save a bunch of time on the editing because it doesn't matter as much as you think it does, but it also, by being not edited and by intentionally not editing your show, you're allowing those conversations to happen, and you're allowing for people to be able to be part of it. You're not cutting out the little magic moments that might seem like a failure to you and are actually important to someone, like something where you're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that, and you cut it out, and that could be like the jewel in your episode that really resonates with someone, or is the thing that people actually really wanted to hear you talking about.
Man, you on gems today. When TV kind of blew up big time was Real World 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
some of the
reality
OG
television,
reality TV, right? What blew it up for everybody is you got to see normal people, not actors, doing their thing. When reality TV started to suck is with people who wanted to become actors because, okay, Real World 1, 2, and 3, all of those guys eventually became sort of celebrities, right? They ended up working on TV shows or doing some other stuff. The most popular podcast in the world started out as a reality TV host. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys remember Fear Factor, but what happened is people decided that I can shortcut Hollywood by getting on a reality TV show and acting out a bunch of different characters in real time. That's when reality TV started to suck and became almost a meme. So then the network said, okay, we can't trust non-SAG oriented people to be reality TV. So let's go do reality TV about celebrities. Celebrities did the same thing. They were first couple seasons were just raw. It was just them. Everybody loved them. It was off the hook. Gene Simmons was pretty stupid, but funny. And you know what? I hate reality TV, but I watched Gene Simmons. Why? Because as a kid, I had Kiss posters. I had Kiss on my notebook. You know, I used to like paint my face like that come Halloween. Like, yeah, it was crazy. Like, I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. Like, I was about that life. So I watched Gene. And then towards the second and third season, I'm like, okay, now Gene, you're acting. I'm pissed. Because at first, you was just being Gene, the person that we all know, the phenom. And then he started acting. So what happens is you realize that the biggest things that have ever crossed the network air are just people being people, not the staged kind of crap. And even when you start to look at The Bachelor and some of these things, you know, where the producers are manipulating it, now they don't have the same flair that the first couple ones did. They all get to the point where they start messing around and it loses that rawness. And if anybody sat through Survivor 46, 26, I can't remember, when you sat through it and then you sit through Lunch with Liz, that's the same Liz, yo.
Yeah.
There is no difference between Survivor Liz and Creator Camp Liz and Liz at Craft and Commerce. It's the same Liz. Mm-hmm. So, you know, a couple of you guys have mentioned it in the chat. Like, you're legit trying to be you. Stop forcing it. Nobody cares about your perfection, fam. They're coming for you.
Yep.
If you develop an audience, this is the first problem. I want you to hear that word clearly. If you develop an audience, they're just going to take from you, and then you become drained because you only have so much to give. Mm-hmm. If you develop a community because they know, like, and trust you, because they love you, and vice versa, you love them, where you know certain things. I know that every time I pick up a glass of apple juice, the first thing I think to myself, my glucose is going to get spiked. The second thing I think to myself is Gretchen's dad had a hand in this.
Yep.
Now, I BS you not. I go to the grocery store. I'm looking at apple juice. I kind of buy Treetop now. Before I buy what was on sale. Mm-hmm. But I kind of buy Treetop now because Gretchen's dad had a. Gretchen's dad not here. But he had a hand in this. My friend's family apple juice. I'm drinking this apple juice.
Yep.
Like, it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I refuse to go to Dunkin' Donuts because of Paul. No, I'm joking. I just can't stand it. It's nasty. But there's a thing. Like, there is absolutely a thing. Like, I feel like I would do that for most anybody in our community because we have relationships. We go somewhere and somebody mentions Miami, we both go, oh, hey, our producer lives in Hollywood. Not the one over there, the one over there. Like, it's what you do because you have connections with folks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Luis, myself, Alicia, we can't drive past a Mod Pizza without thinking of Diana, because Diana got us stuck on that mess.
I love it.
And it's a thing. So yeah, let your people in. Stop blocking the door.
Stop blocking the door.
Oh, Paul said he's a cake mix, not the donut. Okay, that's better.
All right.
Deluxe Moist Dunkin'.
All right. Well, I want to give everyone...
What's the challenge?
I want to give them a challenge. Yeah, I want to give them a challenge. So here are a couple of steps that you can and should take in the next week. All right. So everyone, find a space that you can record in. So if you don't have a defined space, give yourself a defined space. Does not have to be big, does not have to be fancy, doesn't have to have all of the gear that's in all of the other people's studio spaces. You literally just need a quiet space that's set up and ready to go. And then pick a day, any day, don't care when it is, give yourself a bit of time, sit down in your defined space and set up a couple of simple scenes that are a visual representation of the bullet points of the content you want to record. Either live stream it or record it, but do an episode in the live to tape format where you're just going through. You have no script. No one's allowed a script. No script. You just have a couple of bullet points or on a cards or visually in your Ecamm scenes, and get all the way through the episode. Do not edit it, and then tag us in it. Either share it with us on social or drop it into the community. Ecamm.tv/community is where you'll find our community group. But tag us in it and let us know so we can shout you out and give you some support. But go through and get at least one rep in this week if you have not done this. And if you're doing it on a regular, tag us in that anyway and let us know what you're up to and what your episode is like. But do not edit it at all. Don't even think about editing. Think about get the content out there. Be real, be you, and flow through it without worrying too much about the full plan and overthinking the script and whether or not you have a teleprompter set up. Just get the content out there in a real way and let that one go. And then we can get into the next one. Because I think all of us are just overthinking this way too much. So definitely do that. And then if you have not yet, you can swing over to ecamm.com/onetake, ONETAKE. That will get you access into Alex's free one take workshop where he talks through exactly step-by-step tutorial style how you can do this in Ecamm if you're brand new or if you haven't gone through that. It's a great free resource. You can watch it at your own pace at this point. He's done already the live recording, so now it's just the video to take in at your pace. So again, ecamm.com/onetake is how you can get access to that.
I'm going to give you one more good one that I realize now is bigger than ever. Props can help you keep your brain on track. Yeah. And one of the most famous ones, if you're trying to create something, is a whiteboard or a small blackboard and a fat chalk. And then so you can just scrub your piece down real quick. And then all you would do is you literally just write the one word. Do not write the whole sentence, right? Just write the one word and then talk about it. And so you see a lot of people do that now. They'll have a little small about, yo big blackboard or whiteboard, and they just write something on it. And they'll be like, okay, so we're going to speak upon this. And then you're going to go a little bit more. You're going to say, we're going to speak upon that. That's also the reason why I always thought it was just irritating, but I realize why people do it now. People who hold their mic, when they talk, it's a prop. Mm-hmm. Doing this or holding the spatula or whatever, it's a comfort blanket. It's not because they're trying to irritate us with how bad it sounds. So it actually, Mary Lou taught me that. She goes, for the people that are doing that, it's a comfort blanket. So if you got to use a prop, use a prop. You could legit have a spatula or a spoon in your hand and be like, yo, I'm going to give you some tips right now that's going to level up your business practice faster than you can make instant ramen. And you're literally holding a chopsticks, standing in front of the microwave, and you just give the tips.
Yep.
Connected to things that connect to people, right? Oh, you broke? I'm going to show you how to do this on a top ramen budget. And you legit make ramen while you talk about the things that you can do, like Mary Ann's talking about planners and stuff, the things that you can do in a planner space that are, say, under $5, right? That will level up your thing. Make that while you're making top ramen. Have the tea kettle, have the little cup noodle, and then you sitting at your desk with the cup noodle and you pour it in there.
That.
You got to close it and you got 3 minutes, right? If you go for longer than 3, the noodles are soggy and then they're trash. 3 minutes, no more than 3 minutes, people. So you put it, you do it, and while you're talking, and then I got 3 minutes to get these out. Ba-dang, 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 done. And watch the engagement on those versus just sitting there, suit and tie. Today, we're going to talk about the correlation between the positive gravitational pull of a train moving at 33.5 miles an hour and Occam's razor. Is it real or is it fake? Like, what? What are you talking about? Like legit. So just try it. Try using the props thing. If you want to know how to do that, watch Mary. I'm about to say Mary Lou. That woman would be putting on her makeup, talking about something, or curling her hair, or petting her cat, or she is the queen of just sticking in random props. Yeah. But people will slam the brakes on it because they're cat people.
It's captivating. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Cat.
It's captivating. Well, on that note, I'm happy to say that because we had a month off, we are actually like on schedule and on track. And so we know that next week's episode is going to be a really special, fun one. So I hope that you'll join us for next week. We're going to be joined by Michael from Ultra Speaking, and we're going to talk about what Ultra Speaking is. We're going to play some improv games, which I love because it totally puts me out of my comfort zone, which is great. And I think it'll help kind of be a great continuation of this topic. So if you do record a video this week, be sure to join us next week so that you can learn a little bit more about kind of how to get out of your own head and use some of those tactics that you find within improv to just be your best self on camera. So super exciting to have Michael on next week, and hope everyone joins us for that one. And on that front, I think that's about it. Any final thoughts, Doc?
No, just go make something. Like legit, just go make something. Like it really. Now that I don't even know what day it is now. I think it's like 278 or something. Now that I've done a video every day for 278 days, I can't tell you how easy it is. Like the whole point of this was to prove that you can't get burned out if you just like let go of a bunch of crazy stuff. And now it just flows.
It flows. It flows.
It just flows. I just sit down in my chair and do my thing. It just flows. Like it's easier. Even with all the experience I had, it's even easier for me now just because I have done it so many. So now when Kate and Jill are like, hey, I need to make a video, I can just sit down and make the video. I don't even think about it. I just pull up my notes and go because I have so many reps in, almost 300 days of videos in a row, reps in, it just comes out. Like it just works. So really the overthinking is the devil. All right, so let's bring up our normal talking points, but a quick reminder is if you haven't already, come and check us out at flow.ecamm.com. That is where you can subscribe to any of your favorite podcast readers. You can leave us questions, comments, feedback, record us a message. I think Katie has it filled out if you're trying to be a guest. You can do all of that over at flow.ecamm.com. So that is super, super exciting. So make sure you go and do that. And we'd like to thank our partners, Shure, because they sure make us sound good. They're so stupid. But we love Shure. Shure has been the best. Thank you so much to everybody over there at Shure for supporting the flow, and they will make you sound better too. So go and check out Shure. You can find out more at Shure.com or just hit us up and we'll point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. And definitely join us next week where we're going to be hanging out with Michael from Ultra Speaking. You can get information on that episode over on YouTube or at flow.ecamm.com. But it's going to be a good one. Send us in any questions you have in advance or join us live and ask them there. But not when you want to listen to on the recording later. I think this is when you're going to want to actually be there with us in the moment, having some fun and playing along. So join us live for that one.
Yeah, you might have to pull over on the side of the road for next week.
Yeah.
Mahalo, everyone. Flow Riders! Out!
Bye, everyone.
It's been so long since I got to say that.